Hello everybody, GL1 here, and welcome to my online toy museum. And today is going to be a short show because I don't have a whole lot of Lost in Space toys. However, I do have a couple from the Lost in Space movie and a couple from the Lost in Space Netflix series. Now, Lost in Space began as a television series in 1965. The first season was in black and white, and the episodes ran an hour. And then the last two seasons, seasons 2 and 3, ran for about 54 minutes each. And seasons back then were 29 episodes, about 27, 29. So what you got in the old Lost in Space was 78 hours of programming. And the new Lost in Space on Netflix, you only got about 23 hours. So if you feel like you got ripped off as far as content compared to what you remember with the old show, you did. The old show, you got 3 times as many hours with the characters. So anyway, I just wanted to do the math on that. And I never saw the Lost in Space movie, but these toys here go to that. And then on the back, you have a bunch of different toys that you could have bought. And the ones that actually a client of mine gave me, and they'd been sitting in his attic, was Dr. Judy Robinson in her cryo suit with the Magnetic Attack Bite Strike Spider, and Professor John Robinson, the dad, with the Proteus armor, and he also has a Magnetic Attack Spider. The interesting part about these, I think, are the Magnetic Attack Spiders. So they have these weird limbs, which I think are kind of cool. Might be interesting to see them try to walk around, right? So actually they have, 6 limbs, 3 extending into 6 like an insect rather than a spider, which has 8. And then what you have here is you can squeeze this here, and look, you can see that there's teeth inside. So you squeeze this, and that opens the mouth. And this one is a little bit different in color than this one. You can see, other than that, they're the same spider. So, and I don't know what this goes to. I guess it's a reference, something in the movie. It's a first place prize. I really don't know, but that came with the Professor. Now the Professor toy, these are very basic. No lateral motion to the shoulders or the hips. They're just kind of in a slightly bent knee position, and in exercise you'd call that soft knees. So if you were leg pressing, you kind of keep your knees a little bit bent when you're straighten out, and that's just my kind of humor. And here's, he's got a gun, and he's a left-handed shooter, so you can tell because the trigger finger fits right into the hole there on the gun and on the laser gun, and that goes in the left hand. And then the right hand, he's just got an open hand for grasping anything. Well, you can see his face is kind of warped inside this bubble, and that's kind of cool because that comes off, and you can see he looks like that. And you can turn his head, and but then look, you get like a magnification effect. So I think that's kind of neat. And all right, here's Judy. All right, the mom in the show. And oh no, I'm sorry, no, she's not. She's one of the daughters. That's right, the doctor. And all right, so she has some hip motion. Actually, the doctor does too. He can turn. And she has a cryo freeze device, so that means it can just freeze things really quickly. And I think this can kind of connect. Yeah, it connects back into here. You can get that to connect into there or something. So, all right. And of course, very simple motion. You can turn her head and no lateral motion. And she's kind of standing what's called contrapposto. She's got her weight more on one leg, hip raised, and then the shoulder would be, it's sort of opposite. So this hip is up and this hip is down, and this shoulder would be up and this shoulder would be down. But, that's just kind of an art stance thing, like the statue of David. All right. So, and here now for the new Netflix show, I was able to get these with no packaging for about $30. So I got him cheap as long as I got him with no packaging. And so this is the robot. All right, very different from the one in the 1950s show, which looked like just some circular metal pieces and a big bubble head, and his arms look like tubing for going underground for drainage tubing. So anyway, this is how this guy looks, and he's pretty cool. He's got the double knees, so you got that articulation, and not the double elbows. Doesn't move a whole lot, and it's got some lateral motion. And he has a torso joint that is like a ball joint, and then it's got the hips, and the head can move all around, and it does sparkles. And in the series, it can get angry and go into like a warlike stance. Now, the original price of this and the boy, Will Robinson, is like $54, and it'd be cool if it came with, some way to change him to put him in his angry mode, for that much money. So I wouldn't have paid that much money, the full price for these, the way, without having all that feature. And the first thing I noticed about the Will Robinson action figure is that this leg is longer than this leg, which forces him to stand contrapposto. If you kind of stand him up, he's going to have his weight more on the shorter leg. So just so you know. All right, so he has a torso joint here, and he's got the arms, and he can move his elbows all around, and his hands. And there he is, Will Robinson. And, little boy genius on the show. And, for the movie, you have some cool accessories, actually. You could get the Jupiter 2. Wish I had that. And you got these bubble fighters, whatever that's all about. And this is what their robot looked like in that movie versus this. So, he's got treads. So he's pretty cool. I guess it's nice that this guy can walk around on 2 feet, but I think treads are really awesome. And then, you have the various, there's the little Will Robinson, younger, I think, in the movie than he is here. And you get all your magnetic spiders, which are cool. So, all right. Well, thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. And there you go. The show on Netflix, the last season was only 8 episodes versus the first 2 that were 10. And there's been a lot of debate as to whether Netflix canceled the show because of the budget. But reading about it, what they said is they always intended the show to just be the 3 seasons, and they intended it to end just the way it had ended, despite the fact that it got really popular. But 23 hours of content for those characters versus the 78 hours that you got on the original, I think, that leaves you feeling like you want more. And but it did have a lot of special effects, and it's a very expensive show to make. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll be seeing you soon. Thanks for watching. Take care.